Thanks for signing up for a free account at Portfolio Builder. You've just gained access to the most advanced strategy for investing in cryptocurrencies. And the best part is it's completely free. In this video, I'll teach you how to get your portfolio spreadsheet built. I'll tell you the top exchanges and security devices I use to protect my coins. And I'll give you a little walkthrough of the membership area you now have free access to, which covers everything in great detail. And here's just a quick scan of some of the articles we've put together detailing how to build a secure cryptocurrency portfolio. Because what's the point of building $1 million portfolio if someone can steal all of your money? So the first step is going to be installing the Portfolio Builder Chrome app. It's important to note that the Portfolio Builder software only works with Google Chrome web browser and a Gmail account. Now you can register specific emails to G Suite, so that works as well. But the entire system is designed on the Gmail spreadsheet platform and the Google Chrome app browser platform. That's what makes it possible for us to deliver an enterprise, extremely secure software solution for free to crypto investors around the world. And if all that wasn't enough, we also have a free live webinar where you can get all of your questions answered once a week, Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern. At the top of each email is a link to register for that webinar, and I send out a recording of it each day immediately after the webinar ends as well. So assuming you're on Google Chrome browser and not Safari and not Firefox and not Internet Explorer, the very first step will be to click the link that says click here to install the Portfolio Builder Chrome app. This will bring you to this web page, which is Google Sheets, and all you have to do is click the plus free icon. What happens next is it will open a blank spreadsheet and it will install the Google Chrome Portfolio Builder add-on tool. When it opens the new spreadsheet, it's going to say, let's get started. Portfolio Builder needs your permission to run. Just click Continue. You're going to need to re-log into your Gmail account that you signed up with. Scroll down, select Allow. And you can look at what this will give the app access to. Wait for a moment. It's going to load the tool into the add-on box up above. As soon as this stops saying working, we'll check it to make sure it's installed properly. There's our notification. And we can see Portfolio Builder Trigger Update is available. Now you can close that spreadsheet, and in your email account you'll see 2 emails sent from Portfolio at portfoliobuilder.io. These are invitations to access your spreadsheet. Now you'll note there are 2 spreadsheets. One is for your editor and one is for your viewer. Open each email and click to open each spreadsheet. The first time you log into the spreadsheet, it will look like this in your editor tab and this in your viewer tab. And the very first thing you'll want to do is click on add-ons, go to Portfolio Builder, and then select the Trigger Data Update. This is going to take approximately 2 to 3 minutes because it's going to download data on all the cryptocurrencies currently held in the Portfolio Builder software. Now here's what this spreadsheet looks like initially when it first loads. And right now I'm looking at the editor sheet. The viewer is for tracking your profit loss and having a general idea of what's going on in your portfolio, while the editor is for entering all your trades, deposits, withdrawals, and getting the order instructions for how to balance your portfolio. There are currently 3 settings to rotate during the different cycles of the cryptocurrency market. And to summarize those different cycles, I'd like to reference the 1-year Bitcoin chart. And essentially, when Bitcoin is below its most recent high, I highly recommend using the super risky strategy. And I'll show you what exactly that is in a moment. When Bitcoin reaches the same height, so for us that would be once it gets around the $20,000 mark, I'll be personally switching to the risky strategy. And then as Bitcoin breaks into new highs considerably, likely around the $30,000 to $40,000 Bitcoin price, that is when I recommend moving to the smart strategy and actually building a short position, anticipating some sort of 30 to 50% crash in Bitcoin. My current prediction is that Bitcoin will slowly begin rising, as we saw last year, until it goes hyperbolic towards the end of the year, and then it will crash again. But this time I'm predicting that Bitcoin will break into the $50,000 to $75,000 range to crash back down into the $20,000 to $25,000 range and repeat the same cycle we've been seeing for years. And the goal with Portfolio Builder is to catch the bulk of the gains by having a balanced portfolio of the total cryptocurrency market. And I use a very simple formula to create the buy and sell alerts and to determine what percentage of my portfolio should hold each coin. The main metric I look at is change of price relative to 30-day trading volume. So in this example, we can see in the last 30 days that Bitcoin has traded $155 billion, but if we scroll down to, say, coin 28 IOTA, it only traded $1 billion. To me, that says that Bitcoin has about 155 times the probability of success in the long run compared to a coin like IOTA. And if we go down the list, you can see the trading volumes drop dramatically. So the lower down the list, the more risky the cryptocurrency. And if you think about it, the trading volume is really the best measurement of how successful a cryptocurrency is. That's how often people are trading the currency. So the runner-up currently is Ethereum with $43 billion traded in the last 3 days. And that still means Bitcoin is 300% more likely to succeed and continue to grow than Ethereum is right now at this point in time. Now these trading volumes are constantly changing, and that's what our software is constantly analyzing, is the 30-day trading volume in relation to its price. And so while prices are suppressed and well below current highs with little risk of further downside, that's when I like to add risk and invest in the most risky cryptocurrencies. So right now what I'm going to demonstrate would be how a portfolio would be built on the super risky strategy right now. So what I'll do is just click on the Deposit tab, and let's say we deposited $10,000 into our GDAX account. Now I'll go back to my Money Manager, go to the Portfolio Builder tab, and hit Trigger Data Update. Now what you can see is it's told me exactly how many coins I need to purchase for each of the coins in the aggressive portfolio. Now in the free software, we're only giving you access to the top 12 all-store coins. These are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Litecoin, Tron, Qtum, Ethereum Classic, Cardano, Neo, and Stellar. And in all honesty, these are the safest coins to invest in that have the most surefire gains ahead. And on our editor sheet, it tells us with the $10,000 we've deposited into our GDAX account, here's what you need to do to fill your portfolio. To summarize, this is the number of coins we'll need to purchase for each cryptocurrency. And then over here, it's going to give us two options of how to get it filled. So that will either be at Fork Delta, Shapeshift, Poloniex, Binance as one strategy, which is the more advanced strategy. I highly recommend using the Nano Ledger S to store a lot of our portfolio. Or we have down here the Poloniex Binance GDAX strategy. And so this is telling me how much money I need to send to each exchange to fill the portfolio. Now I realize most of you who've downloaded this software are somewhat advanced. You already have a lot of different coins, and that's perfectly fine. All you're going to do is start off by putting all your deposits into this sheet, any withdrawals you've made to this sheet, all Tether coins which you've sold into this sheet, all Tether coins you've bought by selling a cryptocurrency into this sheet. Anytime you've sold Bitcoin to buy an altcoin, it fills right into this sheet, and I'm going to go into detail on how to export your trades and locate it, as well as input it into the database. And then it just repeats Bitcoin buying, Ethereum selling, Ethereum buying. And for those of you who have to consolidate trades, this little tool will automatically sum up a whole chain of trades and turn it into one input. Now for those of you who do upgrade, you'll get the full product, which trades the top 55 or so cryptocurrencies currently. And in several months, we're actually releasing an upgrade to all our paid members, Portfolio Builder 2.0, which actually contains every single cryptocurrency in the world, and it gives you complete control over turning on and off any coin you want to buy or not buy while still following our strategy. And so you can see we're expanding the number of exchanges we reach and also aggressively expanding our reach to cover 100% of all cryptocurrencies. So right now there's 1,563, but as you can see there's new coins being added almost every single day. So now what I'd like to do is discuss all the features of the software, what this color coding is all about, and what are the best tools to use for building your portfolio. And a lot of people want to know my results. Well, I started last summer. I did this by hand without all this cool technology, and I had a 900% gain in less than 6 months. Now we've spent the last 4 months designing this software, creating all the tools to tell you exactly when to buy and when to sell, and I believe we can get much better returns moving into the future. And typically what you'll see happen with our strategy is the price of certain coins will rise much faster than its 30-day trading volume. And so while the target size located in column F will remain pretty safe around these percentages, the price may double, triple, or quadruple, and that creates your real position size to be dramatically larger than your target size. And when that happens, right here in your money manager, these will go from positive to negative and tell you to sell a portion of your coins. Now, I'm not a believer of selling out of your cryptocurrencies completely at any point in time. And that's because while we may have 50 to 75% drawdown at any time as a known risk to investing in cryptocurrencies, the upside is hundreds to 300 to 500 to 1,000% in a single year if you just buy and hold. So the better strategy is to sell part of your position when the price goes up faster than the demand. And we create these target sizes based on the demand for that cryptocurrency in the last 30 days. And all that's happening when we change the risk level from super risky to smart is we're reducing the weight level for these 4 coins, which are commonly purchased through Coinbase: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. So in the super risky strategy, we've reduced the trading volume by 90% for Bitcoin, 75% for Ethereum, 75% for Bitcoin Cash, and 75% for Litecoin. And in my experience, in the early cycle, right after a crash has occurred of 50% or more, you'll see the altcoins go up by 2 to 4 times the return as these major currency pairs. And it's only when we start to reach new highs, and I'm talking about Bitcoin getting into the 35,000 plus range, that it really makes sense to reallocate most of our money to the less volatile coins, such as these four. Because when the crash happens, the same thing's true. The altcoins crash much harder than the major currency pairs, and the only product we can short currently is Bitcoin. So the other catch is that the best gains happen when it's the most risky to hold the portfolio. So the best strategy is to hold, take profits off the table as we break into extreme highs, build a short position to reduce the volatility, and take a little bit of the bang from a crash out of the volatility in your portfolio. I've seen tremendous profits in my account, and I've bought and hold through 50 to 75% crashes now. And with the long-term potential in cryptocurrencies, you really can't expect to make the big gains unless you're ready to hold, balance your portfolio, take profits on the coins when the price skyrockets much faster than the real demand, and as prices get scary high, reduce the impact with a short Bitcoin position. So I'm going to teach you how to do all of that. We provide daily videos where I show you what I'm doing in my model portfolios, and I also have a live webinar. You also have access to the forum, and you also have access to email support. So we're here to help you. Now, for those of you who do wish to immediately upgrade, you want to have the full software with all top 50 coins, and you want to be the first to have access to the new software that supports 100% of all cryptocurrencies. This is what our upgrade page looks like. It does come with 4 free coaching calls from someone who's successfully followed our product from the very beginning. And that includes screencasts, so we can really walk you through everything. And if you want to get unlimited support for a full year, you also have that option right here. Now, just real quick, I'll show you what happens when you upgrade. All you do is go to Portfolio Builder and hit Trigger Data Update. And now it's going to give us recommendations on the entire portfolio of cryptocurrencies. And voila, just like that, it's now telling me exactly how many coins to purchase per cryptocurrency for the top 55 cryptocurrencies in the world. And we can see what our portfolio holding will be using the super risky strategy. Now, I do want to point out still, with the most risky strategy I would recommend, we still have 18% in Bitcoin, 16% in Ethereum, and then you can see the positions get far smaller. As we go down the list, we're holding coins to the 0.1%. Now, a lot of people like to ask me, what kind of return on investment can I make? And so, while I don't have a crystal ball, what I would say is you have the most surefire return possible owning these top 10 coins, all the way down to Cardano, Neo, and Stellar. These are the coins that are well established, growing rapidly, have entire ecosystems growing around them, and have the best chance of success. And I would be shocked if they didn't return at least 1,000% gain in the next 5 to 10 years. In terms of the volatility, 50 to 75% volatility frequently should be expected while holding these cryptocurrencies. But as we scroll down the list, the risks get far worse. However, the potential gain gets exponentially higher. And I've seen in my 1-year stunt of trading cryptocurrencies around 4 to 10 times the return, as well as drawdown the farther we go down the list. Now, if one of these coins hits it big, creates an entire ecosystem of people who use the technology and gets exponential growth, these coins could potentially have 10,000 to 1,000,000% gains, like we've already seen on early adopters investing on coins like Bitcoin, Verge, 100,000 to 1,000,000% gains on coins like Ethereum, Ripple. And if you really study the history of all these different cryptocurrencies, it's been a very roller coaster ride, with drawdowns typically in the 90 to 95% range for some currencies. But with the upside being 1,000,000 to 1, we only need a few of these cryptocurrencies to pay off to make the entire investment portfolio work. So let's take a quick break to talk about the color coding, how you actually use the software, and what to do right away for your personal situation. So there's basically a handful of tools that I really recommend everyone uses. And it can take up to 24 hours for you to get your username and password to access the membership area at portfoliobuilder.io. But once you do, you'll get the complete training series that starts from step 1 and works your way all the way to the most advanced system I know of to invest in cryptocurrencies. And what it all boils down to is security. How do we keep our investments safe? If we're trying to hit a 1,000,000 to 1 return with 1 or 2 cryptocurrencies in the next 10 years, what does it matter if someone can steal all of our funds? Or maybe you're a little more conservative, you'd like to focus on the smart strategy, hold the best cryptocurrencies, and make a more surefire gain. The same thing holds true. We can't have a 100% wipeout because we get hacked or lose our cryptocurrencies. So the first tool I recommend, which you really want to buy directly from their website, is the Yubico U2F security key. I recommend getting 2 so you can make a backup copy. This device makes it nearly impossible to hack into a Gmail account. You have to plug it into the computer and press that key to send an encrypted password to Gmail to access your account. And I actually have 2 extremely detailed tutorials, which are free, to learn how to set up the Gmail in the most secure way possible. And there's a lot of steps, there's a lot of advanced features that you probably don't know about that can make your Gmail literally hacker-proof and have a secret code that you can type in the event of losing all your security devices to have a one-time reset. The next device I'm going to recommend to everyone is the Ledger Nano S. And again, only buy these devices directly from the seller. You don't want to buy from a third party who could have tampered with the device. And this is really a high-tech key to access your different cryptocurrencies and store them directly in the blockchain. When we trade at a website like Binance, we're actually all sharing the same wallet. And so the coins we hold is just tracked by Binance. If Binance were to be hacked in any single wallet, every single user would lose all of their coins. And then furthermore, if someone were to hack into my Binance account directly, they could withdraw the coins to their own personal wallet, which again would result in 100% loss. So by using the Ledger Nano S, we can hide our coins in the blockchain for each cryptocurrency and have a very encrypted access point by using the key, the Nano Ledger S. So this doesn't hold your coins, but it's really a fancy key to access them. And with your free account, you have access to all of the guides up to page 2, which does teach you how to set up the Nano Ledger S, which you're going to want. It also teaches you how to use the software for Nano Ledger S, and it gets into installing a few of the wallets. Now on page 3 and 4 we go through every single wallet installation, but that's really only necessary for our advanced members who are trying to build the lengthier list of coins in the portfolio. Okay, so that's 2 quick security tips. Next, set up a separate bank account to connect to Coinbase. If someone does get access to your Coinbase, you don't want them emptying out your entire bank by purchasing Bitcoins, then withdrawing them to their personal address. So that's a big hack that we want to avoid. If you can afford it, get a brand new computer, Chromebook, to do all your crypto investing on. Who knows what kind of viruses you've picked up on your computer downloading stuff over the years, and you really don't want anyone else to access this computer except yourself. And then last but not least, I would recommend getting a new phone plan. The Google Fi is recommended by Litecoin founder Charlie Lee as the most hacker-proof setup. You really don't want to take your phone that has access to all of your cryptocurrencies to dinner. That doesn't make sense. What happens if you lose your phone and all the 2-factor authentications are out the window? This can create a huge problem for you. And what I do is use the hotspot on my phone to give access to my crypto investment laptop so that my shared internet, which is another security threat, is never actually accessing my cryptocurrency portfolio. So with this Google Fi internet service, rather phone service and phone plan, you pay only the minutes you use. You can get a very high-end phone and use this just exclusively for your cryptocurrencies. Last tip, don't store any passwords on your computer. I store them in 2 notebooks handwritten, which I store in my safe. And again, the entire first page of tutorials is all about security and not losing your investment. So I do recommend everyone log in and study those materials. Now with that said, I know a lot of you don't want to go through all the trouble to set up the Nano Ledger S to get started. You want to invest in your portfolio right now, and you can always move your coins over later. And if that's the case, what I recommend you use is Coinbase, which really connects to GDAX, where you can deposit coins into USD T Tether for free, then start exchanging them into different currencies. I'm using GDAX to buy the big 4 pairs, which are marked as yellow: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, and also labeled in the viewer up here. And then I'm using Poloniex and Binance to fill the rest of the portfolio. And in a moment, I'll teach you how to export trades and input those into the spreadsheet if you already have trades existing that you want to start off with. Poloniex is very important, and a little tip for getting set up there, you got to go to site settings when setting up your account verification and turn on the camera. That can be very difficult to figure out and can prevent people, but Poloniex is actually the best place to short Bitcoin when the prices get too high, and will be a critical part of our strategy for being able to have the courage to hold on to our portfolio, to capture those huge gains, and then to not be scared when we see pullbacks, because we'll be reducing that risk with our short position. And so with the simple strategy that does not use the Nano Ledger S and a few other nifty tools, if you're just going to be using exchanges, which again I don't recommend, but you can use that to get started, you can see this nifty tool over here. Out of the $10,000, I'm going to need to send $2,560, which would be 0.37367 Bitcoin, or 6.26 Ethereum at current prices, to Poloniex to buy coins which have been highlighted as ideal to buy in Poloniex due to liquidity, and then $2,934 to Binance. The remaining amount of capital would remain at GDAX. Now, if you don't want to have all your coins at risk of an exchange hack, and you would like to use the Nano Ledger S, that's what this tab is all about. I actually am using multiple Nano Ledger S's to hold 4 coins at a time. Now, they've had a recent update that lets you hold 16 apps at a time, but you can always delete and add apps on and off of the Nano Ledger S without having to worry about losing your coins. You can add it in and out in a flash, and your coins will never disappear. Think of the Nano Ledger S more as an identity card to access the same wallet for each coin, and installing on and off the app is really just changing the keys on your keychain. And so while column A tells you which exchange you can buy each coin for the non-Nano Ledger S strategy, blue is Binance, green is Poloniex, you can really fill these coins wherever you want. And there's a lot of exchanges out there, and I'm just giving you my best ideas for how to organize your portfolio, to spread out your risk, to find the best liquidity pools with the highest reputation exchanges. Now on the inside, we get a little more clever. So we're going to use a website called Shapeshift, which is not an exchange per se. The way it works is you deposit 1 coin to their wallet, you tell them the new wallet address of a different coin on your side, they convert the coin into that cryptocurrency and deposit it right back to you. So what happens is we can manage a handful of the best coins without ever touching Binance, Poloniex, or any other exchange. So we don't have it sitting there like a duck waiting to get its head blown off. We can just get in and out and keep our portfolio balanced in respect to the price versus demand. So these coins right here, which have been marked in pink, are available to trade through Shapeshift, and you can create a wallet on the Nano Ledger S. So there are a good number of coins, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Qtum, Ethereum Classic, Neo, Stellar, Bitcoin Gold. They're about to add Monero, if they haven't already, by the time you're watching this video, Dash, and Zcash. So these are coins, and then if we go lower, there's more. Dodge, Stratus, Digibyte, and then this pack of 5 down here. So these are all coins that meet 2 qualifications. I can trade them on the Nano Ledger S, plus I can easily adjust how many coins I have of each through Shapeshift. And right here in the page 2 of the how-to guides is the how to use Shapeshift and Changely. Very similar website, has a few different pairs that does the same thing to basically manage our portfolio without a centralized exchange. Now the coins marked in this purple color are traded at Fork Delta. And over here on the Transfers tab, you can see I have a list of coins that meet that qualification. So these are still stored on the Nano Ledger S wallet, but we're going to access those coins through a website called Fork Delta. So what are these coins? They are sub-tokens or side chains of the Ethereum blockchain. If you thought of Ethereum as Windows, these would be different applications, separate companies developing applications based on the Ethereum platform. So if you think about all the profitable software companies that can only exist because of Windows, that's what all of these are. And these are the most popular, most successful coins to date that are built on blockchain. Now in version 2.0, which will come out soon, we'll be expanding that list considerably, and also expanding to hold all the applications being designed on competitive platforms such as Qtum and Neo, which both have around a dozen applications already, and that's quickly growing. Now what is Fork Delta? Fork Delta essentially allows us to connect our Nano Ledger S to Fork Delta, access our Ethereum wallet, transfer those coins into the Fork Delta smart chain. Really, Fork Delta is just a Ethereum application. Then we can buy all of the different pairs of sub-tokens that trade against Ethereum, coins that are built on the Ethereum blockchain. So these all are just stored in the single Ethereum wallet, which gives you the ability to own all of these different sub-tokens. So we can keep a lot of these positions in this smart contract and manage our position according to how much trading volume each of these applications is demanding in the market. This is very cool and gives you one spot to access almost all ERC20 coins. Now in version 2.0, we will also be expanding to IDEX, which is a little bit better user interface, hand-selected coins, and a lot of liquidity. So we'll be splitting our ERC20 purchases between these two popular decentralized exchanges. And in our how-to guide section, you can see the guide how to use Fork Delta with My Ether Wallet. So My Ether Wallet's just a kind of a window to see what's in your Ethereum account, which is created by your Nano Ledger S, and we cover this in great detail in the course. Then the rest of the coins are purchased at either Binance or Poloniex currently. Now in version 2.0, we are greatly expanding the list of exchanges and the list of coins, but we're also going to give you more control as to exactly what weight level you give each coin, and also which coins you want in or out of your portfolio. So right now this is designed for the top 55 coins based on the popularity of those coins. It's using the top 2 exchanges in the world based on reputation and liquidity, and has some little features to save you some time and money by using Shapeshift, adding security with the Nano Ledger S, and having easy access to all the ERC20 coins thanks to Fork Delta. So now what I'd like to do is walk you through all the tabs and start teaching you how to fill out the spreadsheet so that you can start building your portfolio. Let's start off with the deposit tab. So a deposit is counted as US dollars, or whichever currency pair you're starting with, and we will be adding different pairs besides USD, and we're converting our fiat money into cryptocurrencies. Now it's not a deposit if I send money from Coinbase to Poloniex. That you have the option to record in the transfer sheet, because it's not changing how many coins you hold. It's really just moving your money from one location to another. And so this page is designed to store all of your wallet addresses here in column G, and then to keep track of when you moved what money where. It's totally optional, and all of the software will work primarily from the deposit tab and then each of these different currency pairs where we've made trades. So a deposit is when we convert our fiat currency into either Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or Bitcoin Cash. Now, in anticipation that they may add Ripple to Coinbase at some point, I have added it there, but that's currently not possible. So the very first step would be to consolidate all of your deposits, all of your investments, anyone who's given you coins. You need to put them into this sheet and assign a value for what you paid for them. This will be important for your tax accounting, which our software also handles. And this spreadsheet's very easy. We're really just looking at the number of coins purchased, the cost per coin purchased, the total cost, which is automatically calculated, and then whatever commission cost you may have paid. If you have too many trades, you can simply insert them all into the Consolidator tab, and it will summarize all of that into a single entry. So all buying would be one entry, and then all selling could be another. And this tool can be used for each tab. Any amount of trades or deposits that need to be summarized, that's what this tool does for you. Now you can always download your history by going to Coinbase, Tools, History, and then download history, and that will give you a spreadsheet to work from. Now let's move to withdrawals. Withdrawals are the same. We're not talking about pulling money out of Poloniex to put it on the Nano Ledger S. That's a transfer. What we're talking about is converting our cryptocurrencies back into US dollars or whichever fiat currency base you're starting from. And this data is very important because the deposits are what will calculate our initial investment located in the viewer. And it's also where we're going to keep track of what we originally paid for coins. So when we do our tax accounting, we're using the first in, first out accounting method, which means we have to spend our first purchase coins before our last purchase coins. And so I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Now, anytime we take a withdrawal, that is counted as part of our profit. The investment size will not decrease, but our profit will reflect all withdrawals. Now I'd like to look at the USD T selling. So this is when we're selling Tether to buy an altcoin. This is one of the easier tabs to fill out. In column C, you can mark which exchange you sold it at. Column D, you type in how many coins were sold. It will automatically calculate column F, the sale value, insert the commission cost, and then insert the number of coins purchased. It will automatically calculate the price per coin purchased, and then record the date. And it's really that simple. Now please note there is no taxable event when selling a USD coin. You bought the USD T coin for $1 and then you sold it for $1. So no profit occurs. However, all of the commission costs from column G can be added up each year and counted against your profit. Now in the USD T buying, we will be selling a cryptocurrency, which will create a taxable event. And to do so, first we fill out column C where we sold the coin. Column D will be the cryptocurrency sold, how many of those were sold. The cost per coin will automatically be calculated for you. The commission cost you will input. Now typically these are calculated as a percentage of the trade, but they take the commission and report it to you as a reduction in the cryptocurrency you'll receive. So rather than getting the full amount of Bitcoin or Ethereum, they take a little piece of that out as their commission cost. Typically what I will do is simply put equals, click the cost times, and then put in the commission rate of my exchange. Binance is 0.5% if you let them take it out in their own coin, whereas others may be slightly higher. And we will look at some real world examples in a moment. This will be the number of USD T coins purchased with the altcoin, which will just simply be the price of the trade. And again, we'll look at an example soon. Then in column J, we need to look at the original cost of the cryptocurrency that is being sold when we first bought it. So if it's a Bitcoin, we would look back to our deposits perhaps to see the very first time we purchased a Bitcoin and what was the cost per coin. And that is how we'll calculate the profit generated from that transaction. The date bought. This is important. If you hold for over a year, your tax rate is considerably lower, almost half in America. And then the date sold. Now this must be entered in the same format right here. And what that's going to do, it's going to look at the value of the cryptocurrency you sold the day of the sale. And this figure is normally not reported in most exchanges, so it's very important that you do fill out in column O to automatically locate the cost of your crypto coin on the date of sale. Now if you do know that, you can always manually input it right here. And again, in a moment I'll start putting in some real trades. Do note that when you put the date in here, it will not automatically fill that price until after you've done an update. Everything has to be updated once you've filled in the spreadsheet to recalculate all the figures. And right now you can see we have a limited number of pairs available, which is based on currently what Tether can trade against. Now in the version 2.0 coming up in a few months, it will not be predefined fields like this. You'll simply type in the currency pair being traded and it will automatically filter all the data to the editor and the viewer for you. So all of these tabs will be consolidated into a single tab. Now let's look at Bitcoin selling. In this spreadsheet we have 10 spots, and again, if you have trades that were partially filled creating a lot of orders, you can simply type each trade into the Consolidator and it will turn into a single entry for you. And this is where we can hit Ctrl F, type in any pair, and it will drop you down to the spot. We insert the location into column C, the number of Bitcoins sold into column D. This will be automatically calculated. Commission cost. I recommend just multiplying the sale value times the commission cost your exchange is charging. The number of new coins purchased by selling the Bitcoin. Column I, the price of the altcoin at time of purchase. That will be automatically filled. The original cost, so this would be the original Bitcoin cost for tax and profit calculation. The date bought and the date sold. Now again, the date sold is what's going to look up the prices to fill in the rest of the trade. Okay, now we are in the Bitcoin buying tab. So we're going to be selling a altcoin to purchase Bitcoin. Same process. Column C, we will identify where the trade was placed, and this is optional, but it helps you keep track of where you're doing what. Column D is the number of altcoins sold to purchase your Bitcoin. Column E and F auto calculate. Column G, you manually input or use the equal times commission rate to calculate. Column H is the number of Bitcoins purchased, which you manually input. Column I is automatically filled. Now column K most likely occurred in the Bitcoin selling or the Ethereum selling. So we're looking at the value of the altcoin when you first purchased that coin. So we have to look back. When did we buy our Ripple or our EOS or our Tron coin, and for what price? We insert that price here, and it automatically calculates the profit on that trade by comparing what the value of the altcoin was at the time of exchanging it for the Bitcoin compared to when you first purchased the altcoin. And again, you do enter the date of the transaction so it can look up the historical price, as that information is not easily accessible from exported data from the exchange. Now, if you do happen to know that rate, you do have the freedom to type in your price per coin. Ethereum selling, same process as Bitcoin selling. Column C is location, column D is the amount of Ethereum sold, column E and F are automatically calculated, G you input, H, that is the altcoin purchased with the Ethereum, although it does cover buying Bitcoin by selling your Ethereum as well. You can hit Control F to find the pair you need. And again, in version 2.0 coming out in a little while, a few months, you don't have to scan for any coins. It just will let you use a drop down to pick the currency pair and then fill in the sheet as you go. Ethereum buying. We're now selling a different cryptocurrency to buy Ethereum, and the same process holds true as we just discussed. Now there is a hierarchy to how the exchanges organize trades and pairs. The first hierarchy is the fiat currency you're trading against. We've designed this first product to support Americans using the US dollar, but in version 2.0 you'll be able to switch to different base currency pairs. After that, the priority is the Bitcoin. So if you're trading between a Ethereum and a Bitcoin in the exchange, the exported data will always make the Bitcoin the main pair being traded against, and then Ethereum is the third tier. Now there will be more pairs out in the future, such as QDM and NEO as they're expanding, but right now this covers 99% of all the typical types of trades you may make for the top 55 coins. Okay, so now let's look at some trade data. If we go to Binance and click on order history, I like the order history better than the trade history because it will summarize a bunch of trades into a single trade, the same thing that the coin consolidator tool does. So you just go to orders, order history, and click export complete order history. This only exports 3 months at a time, so you may have to export a few sheets to build your entire database. You click that, it will pop up below. If it doesn't, look up in this top right corner up here where the star is, and there may be a little error box. Click that and allow pop-ups or downloads. So that's the secret to getting this. You can then open in a folder. If you don't have Excel, then you can upload it to your drive.google and you can turn it into a Google spreadsheet. Now if you ever have trouble finding your editors, just go to drive.google.com, click on shared with me, and you can see these portfolio sheets that have been shared with you. So now what we're looking at is a random set of trades I did just to create all the different potential trades for educational purposes. So we're going to learn how to read a exported trade history. So let's just go through these one by one. You'll see the pattern. It's really easy, even though it might look complicated at first. So in the yellow, I've highlighted the trade, and really all of the data we need is contained right here in these coins that I'm now marking green, or these cells. So the pair tells us what coins are being traded, and we need that one too. The type tells us if we're buying or selling the first part of the pair. So this is telling me EOS is being sold. I'm going to need the date to look up the historical price of either Ethereum or EOS. Once you know one, you can figure out the other. Then this tells me filled. I sold 15.98 EOS coins, totaling 0.255696 Ethereum. So again, I'm selling my Ethereum to, I'm selling my EOS coins to buy Ethereum. So let's go to our spreadsheet. I'm going to give you a second to try to guess. Do I go to Ethereum buying or selling? And again, I sold my EOS to buy Ethereum. I sold 15.98 to buy 0.255696. Did you guess it right? It's Ethereum buying. So I'll hit Control F, type in EOS. It brings me down to this currency pair. I'll hit the X button, and now I can type in the location. This was at Binance for this example. The number of coins sold was 15.98. Now I could copy this number in, but be careful. Here's a quick tip. If you paste it, it will change the color. If you don't like that, paste it up here. And then I grab the total amount of coins sold, which is this figure right here. Or rather purchased, paste that in. Commission cost at Binance is 0.5%. So I'll say cost of sale times 0.005. Now the last piece of information I need is the date sold, which is 4/5/2018. Now in this sample, I'm not filling in the original cost of the coin sold. I'd probably look at the Aetherium Selling or the Bitcoin Selling to see when I first sold a Bitcoin or Ethereum to buy EOS. And then I'd put the price of that coin right here to calculate my profit. And then I'd also input the date bought. Now what's going to happen is after I filled in all of my trades, what I need to do each time is trigger a data update. So I'm going to do that and pause. This takes about 2 minutes to do each time. So I recommend filling in all of your trades and then doing one update. Now what you can see is it's automatically calculated the value of EOS at the time of sale as well as the value of Ethereum at that date. Let's say we purchased those coins for $5. We created a profit of $17.12 after our commission cost, which has been reflected and deducted from our profit, which is handy for your tax accountant. Then we type in the date of purchase and it will tell us how many days we held the position. When possible, you want to hold for over a year to dramatically reduce tax obligations. Okay, let's look at another trade. Now here's another little trick for you guys. If you click on View, Freeze Panel, Freeze Top Row, it makes it handy because now we can see what's going on with the column title while we scroll down our page. So I'm going to turn from yellow the various pieces of information we're going to need to fill out the trade. Now in future versions this will be automatically downloaded for you, but this is a quickly developing piece of software and right now we do have to manually input these trades. One option that is available is to convert all of your coins into a single allocation of Bitcoins, then input it as one deposit at the current market value, and then you can use other tax accounting softwares to kind of reconcile everything you've done in the past and then start out from scratch. And that's not a bad option. It can certainly save you a lot of time initially getting started with the software. If you're dealing with less than 100 trades and you want to get it organized, you want to know your tax obligations, you want to keep it all sorted, and you don't want to realize profits by having to sell positions you have, well, that's what this is all about right now. Okay, so right now we know the pair is Bitcoin versus Tether. You can see the hierarchy. USD T was placed on the right. If it was not a USD T pair, Bitcoin would always be on the right. And if Bitcoin's not involved, then Ethereum's always on the right. Okay, we did need that. This tells us we are buying Bitcoin by selling Tether. This was the price, which is not normally available unless we're trading against the USD pair. If we look at this example, it does have a price, but it's relative to the cost of Ethereum, which makes it incredibly difficult to track your profit in US dollars. Maybe you can track your profit in Ethereum or Bitcoin, but that's not going to be very easy or useful. So what this is saying is we've bought Bitcoin by selling USDT. We did it on April 5th. This is the amount of Bitcoin we purchased, and this is how much it cost us. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to try to predict which tab it's going to go to. Is it Bitcoin buying? No, it's not. Remember, the hierarchy goes to USDT. And in this case, we're buying Bitcoin by selling USDT. So I'll click on this tab. And remember, there is no taxable event when you sell USDT. You bought it for $1, you sold it for $1. The only thing is the write-off on the commission. So I'll grab the amount of coins sold, 103.34, paste it into this box up here. Now notice there's this extra line right here. If I hit delete, that'll get rid of that so this box doesn't get fat. Now come back here to the filled, paste it in here. If I was using GDAX and using a limit order, which we teach in the how-to guides, commission cost would be 0. And I do know the cost of this because it's in the right currency pair, which I can manually put right here. And that trade is done. We can put the date of purchase, which will be useful because we may need to eventually be accounting for selling this Bitcoin. Okay, let's look for a new trade. This is the same pair, so I'm going to mark that done, or taught, not actually loaded into this one. Now, this is a very similar trade, so I'll just talk about it, but we're buying the Binance coin, the BNB, by selling USDT, so that'd be filled out the exact same way. We bought 3.59 Binance coins for $44.58. And the price per coin at the time was $12.42. The date is located right here. Okay, we're going to the next trade. It's the same trade. It goes on the same tab. We're buying Ethereum by selling USDT. We bought 0.1583 Ethereum by selling 59.38 USDT Tether for a price of $375.10 per Ethereum. Very easy trade. We'll mark that taught. Okay, now we have a different pair. In this instance, we're selling the Ethereum to purchase Tether. So let me highlight this and we'll see if you know which tab it goes into. So again, we are selling Ethereum to buy USDT. Would it go in the Ethereum Selling tab? No, it would not, because we're buying USDT, and USDT has the hierarchy with the exchange. So I go to the tab. I'll hit Ctrl F to get my search bar up. I can type in ETH to find the currency pair. Hit the X button. I can type in my location. And now the rest is pretty easy. So if you read these notes up here, it helps you keep everything straight, because it could be easy to put the coins sold and the coins bought and the coins bought and the coins sold area. But if we read it again carefully, we are selling Ethereum. So coins sold will be Ethereum, which is this input right here. The cost per coin sold will be automatically filled out for us. The commission, I can simply multiply this by the rate my exchange charges, the coins purchased, and then we come over to here, and the critical one right now is the date sold. Now to get the price, or rather the profit, I will need to look up the original cost of my Ethereum purchase. And now that can take a little research, because it's really, you want to find the very first instance you've sold, purchased Ethereum, and use that price, because we're using the first in, first out accounting method. So let's hit the trigger update and we'll see what it fills out for us. And so you can see it's automatically filled in the rest of the trade. To finish it, I would want to put the date purchased and the original cost to calculate the right profit. All right, let's move to a new currency pair. Here's another one. It's the Ethereum Bitcoin currency pair. And what I've done is I've sold Ethereum to buy Bitcoin. This is the amount of Ethereum I sold in the filled column, and this is the amount of Bitcoin purchased in the total column. And over here is the date to look up the historical prices so we can see the profit loss in USD terms rather than in Ethereum or Bitcoin terms. So where do we put this? We're selling Ethereum. Would we go to the Aetherium Selling tab? Nope. This is happening in the Bitcoin Buying tab. We're selling our Ethereum to purchase Bitcoin. Column D, we would put the location. For this example, I'll just fill in the critical elements. Paste in the number of coins sold. Paste in the number of coins purchased. Come over here to the date sold. And voila, this will automatically update. We can throw in the commission cost by multiplying the cost rate against the total cost in column F, and then we'll have to go see what our original cost of Ethereum was to figure out the true profit loss. Okay, here's a new tab, a new trade. We have sold Tron TRX to purchase Bitcoin. So this is in the same tab. We are buying Bitcoin by selling Tron. So I'll hit Control F, type in TRX. Number of coins sold would be this figure. Number of coins purchased goes to this figure. And then the date sold goes right there. Okay, let's go to the next trade. We are now buying KMD, Komodo coin, by selling our Bitcoin. So we go to the Selling Bitcoin tab and we can easily fill in this trade. Bitcoin selling, we're already down here, but I could have hit Control F to find the KMD. Now this is going to be the opposite. So we are buying 5 Komodo coins. These are the new coins, so that would go into this number right here is the number of Bitcoins sold to fill the position. And then we need to get the date and put it over here. Okay, we're back at the spreadsheet. Now all of these are the same. I am buying an altcoin by selling Bitcoin. So you'd fill it out exactly the same on all of these pairs. But down here we have we're selling Ethereum to buy Bitcoin trade. And that's actually a trade we've already done. So let's now flip gears and look at Poloniex' export, which is a little different. Okay, so we're now looking at an export from Poloniex. While the date is in the format we need, what it hasn't done is summarized our trades very well for us. So as you can see right here, we have a block of a considerable number of trades that are all the same. So I'll highlight those. Now this one is not part of it, so I could just do this to reorganize it. Right click, insert a new line, paste that down here, normal font, delete that. So let's read this. We are selling Augur, which is REP, to purchase Etherium. Now we don't need the price column, but we do want the amount and the total. And so on Binance, this was the filled and this was still the total. And now here you can see the commission cost. Now I don't want to type this in a lot of times, so I'm going to move this data to the Coin Consolidator tool to summarize this into a single trade for myself. So I will highlight these columns right here, copy. I will now come to the Consolidator tool, paste this data in, move this to here, and I'll actually move this field to here, and really I'm just trying to get a total number of coins, which is this number and this number. So I'll paste this over into the ETH buying, so I'll search for REP, and this is the number of coins sold. Then I'll come back to get the number of Ethereum purchased. Paste that into the bar. And I can come over here and grab the date. It'll automatically figure out the cost of the coin purchased as well as the coin sold. Now I realize the Coin Consolidator is a little weird the way that works, so we will have a better version of that in 2.0, but it still allows you to summarize a big series of trades into one. And also you can also just go equals sum to calculate this total here, and equals sum to calculate this total here. So let's look at a few more pairs. In this pair right here, we are buying the NXT coin by selling Bitcoin. So you would input this into the Bitcoin selling tab. These are all the same. And at this point, we're now selling Litecoin to purchase Bitcoin. So that would be in the Bitcoin buying tab. Now in Coinbase, it's important to try to recognize the difference between a trade and a deposit. So you can see I traded in the exchanges 100%, but at Coinbase, most of my transactions are just converting US dollars into various crypto coins. So these purchases would all be allocated in the deposit tab. Now when we go to GDAX, there's not an easy way to export all your trades at once. But if you do go to Settings and Statements, you can download each currency pair one by one and get a PDF, or a CSV is better. But it's a real pain in the butt. You're gonna have to download a lot of these one by one to get all of your transaction history. So once you've done it once, this is out of your way, and then you just maintain your trades as you go. The other option is to just get the data straight from their online panel. So if you go to Orders, you can go through each currency pair to find all of your transactions, and then you can look up the same information. So in this example, we are in the Litecoin Bitcoin pair. I clicked on a single trade, and you can see I've bought one Litecoin by selling 0.01715 Bitcoin. So that's the overview of how to use the software. We will be creating more and more tutorials and creating big upgrades to the software, creating more automation every approximately 4 months. If you'd like to unlock the full software and potentially hire a coach, consider upgrading to our premium package. Thanks for your time studying this video, and happy crypto investing. Join us on the weekly webinars on Wednesday and look for daily video updates where I cover the news and any changes I'm doing in our model portfolios Monday through Friday.